Do you think Gen Zs are like really employable nowadays?
Some of these areas, artistic side, drawing, painting, and performing art, music.
If I talk about what kind of new skill sets would required to be employable for this new generation workforce, but so far I don't know or how much footprint we have or documents proof available that we productionize the applications which are completely driven by AI. हम सब जानते हैं कि इंडिया आईटी एक्सपोर्ट के लिए दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा हब है, लेकिन रिसेंट एआई इनोवेशन की वजह से हमारे देश के ओवरऑल आईटी एक्सपोर्ट पर डेफिनेटली इसका असर पड़ेगा। वहीं दूसरी तरफ जनरेटिव एआई टूल्स लाइक चैट जीपीटी और जेमिनी की वजह से इंडियन आईटी जॉब मार्केट पर भी एक काफ़ी बड़े स्तर पर असर दिखाई पड़ रहा है। चैट जीपीटी या जेमिनी एक जनरेटिव एआई बेस्ड ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी है जो प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग पर काम करती है, और इस प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग के लिए डेटा एक फ्यूल की तरह होता है। इस फ्यूल मतलब डेटा की क्वालिटी पर डिपेंड करता है कि आपका प्रॉम्प्ट आपके लिए कितना इफेक्टिव रिजल्ट देगा। आज के इस एपिसोड में हम बात करने वाले हैं कैसे चैट जीपीटी और जेमिनी काम करते हैं, जनरेटिव एआई टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए डेटा एक फ्यूल की तरह क्यों होता है और क्यों इसके लिए एक बैकबोन की तरह काम करता है, और आने वाले समय में एआई की वजह से इंडियन आईटी जॉब मार्केट पर क्या असर पड़ने वाला है। इन सारे टॉपिक्स पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ आज एक डेटा नर्ड हैं जिनको इंडस्ट्री का 22 ईयर से भी ज़्यादा का एक्सपीरियंस है, और पिछले 3 साल पहले ही इन्होंने अपनी खुद की आईटी कंपनी शुरू की हुई है, जिसके एक को फाउंडर एंड सीटीओ हैं। तो आइए हम बात करते हैं आज के हमारे गेस्ट समन्वय गुप्ता से। हाय समन, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग ऑन आवर शो एआई एंड फ्यूचर ऑफ जॉब्स।
Hi, Rahul. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to discuss the future of AI and where we are today.
ओके, थैंक यू अगेन। सो सबसे पहले मैं चाहूँगा समन कि आप हमारी ऑडियंस के लिए अपना एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन दें,
Sure.
ताकि वो लोग जान सकें कि हु यू आर एंड हाउ लॉन्ग यू हैव स्पेंड योर जर्नी ओवर देयर।
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I'm currently serving as CTO and co-founder of Orange Diatech. I've been in IT industry for over 2 decades, working across various technology domains, including data analytics. And my passion lies in bridging the gap between decision making and data. And I feel AI is transforming really fast to bridge this gap like never before. So I'm really again excited to be here.
ओके, ओके, वंडरफुल। सो एज वी नो दैट कि अभी रिसेंटली जो एआई का दौर शुरू हुआ है और इंडियन आईटी इंडस्ट्री भी एक ऐसे ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव टाइम से जा रही है, इसके बारे में आपका क्या पर्सपेक्टिव है?
It's you're absolutely right, Rahul. ये बहुत interesting time है. Um, while we have an opportunity at one hand to go up in the value chain,
Yeah,
the same time, a lot of jobs will be lost.
yeah,
So it's a real opportunity. How we use this. Uh, the way I see this uh, uh, entire AI path is it is something to add and give more edge to developers that they can gain the productivity.
Okay.
I don't consider that it's going to take job if people use that as a tool
That's
and kind of make it work for their own advantage.
Mhm.
I India has been traditionally called a back office for the world.
Mhm.
आई थिंक अब हमें इनोवेशन की तरफ जाना पड़ेगा.
Exactly.
क्योंकि आप जो कर रहे थे सर्विस साइड पे आप जो कर रहे थे या सपोर्ट साइड पे जो कर रहे थे, AI कैन डू लॉट ऑफ दैट. तो उसी को हम कैसे यूज़ करके हमारी सर्विसेज को कैसे बेटर बना सकते हैं और इनोवेशन की तरफ कैसे जा सकते हैं. आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर द रियल आई थिंक अपॉर्चुनिटी
That's
लाइज.
what. So, as you rightly said that we need a next level of innovation, but I would like to basically talk about one thing. So, जोहो के जो फाउंडर हैं
जी.
श्रीधर बैम्बू, रिसेंटली उन्होंने एक इंटरव्यू में एक बात कही थी कि AI is not going to take the job, it is going to actually expose the vulnerabilities and the inefficiencies which we have created in last 20-30 years in our service industry. That's what exactly is happening, right? So जो सीधर बेम्बू का जो थॉट प्रोसेस है, आप उससे कितना अग्री करते हैं?
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. The way I see evolution of AI is first the task starts getting delivered through AI. Whatever has been a very manual process, part of that एक job है उसके अंदर एक task है, and that task will start getting being done through the help of AI. For let's take an example of autonomous car. Autonomous car के पहले क्या था? Lane assist था.
Okay.
या उसके
That's
पहले warning from somebody is coming behind you and black spot and whatnot, automatic braking and whatnot. So if we see autonomous driving vehicle as a one job, part of that task started kind of executing through AI, and now that part is becoming more. So that's what I see when you mentioned that AI is going to expose some of our vulnerabilities and weaknesses. Any bad thing, inefficient thing, any wrong thing will become very very up open and will kind of I think expose us. So we need smart programmers,
yeah, definitely.
not the one who will take
Yes.
a lot of time to
Yes.
code.
So now, as we know that we are going to talk about AI completely in this particular podcast, but since there are like many Gen Zs who are going to be the part of this AI revolution as a workforce, so before I move on into the deep details or deep discussion of about the AI, I would like to start with the pre-AI era, because India has very long history of IT export and all. So we must also talk about little bit how the early days or inception of IT industry was there, and then what were the different technologies and all that. So talking about that perspective, since you have started early 2000,
yeah.
yeah. So what was that particular era? What kind of technologies and skill set was there?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting question, because it takes me back to the time when I was trying to get into IT industry, and it was .com era, right? Y2K problem was just solved, and a lot of people in front of me moved to United States or different countries to solve this Y2K problem, and then the .com had just started, and so the first thing after mainframe was the major shift was toward client server architecture, or we can call it web revolution. This is where the world started going. Fast forward few years, but however at this point of time I like to mention that, because we're talking about learning and how we can kind of develop our skills, I think that point of time I remember clearly, if I pick one technology, .NET or Java for that matter, and I really do well, I will be settled for 10-15 years. Because technology was pretty static.
Yes.
I don't have to learn every day. Like we have to at least be open what is changing. But that point of time, if मुझे अगर .NET मैंने सीख लिया है तो 5-7 साल I can claim that I am the expert.
Now that situation is no more.
No more. I think things are evolving so fast. So, but I relish that time, but because we used to read, learning used to happen through books. So we'll cherish keeping our books on our desk and kind of learn from it. However, I think things started changing 2005 and 6 when more cloud side started coming in. Entities and organizations started moving their data to AWS and Azure. It was the time when cloud started picking it up, and then the scale of, I would say, with cloud came the scale and the agility. Things were started moving a little faster, and then finally came the what we call mobile applications. That change again the whole scenario, and we started seeing the data started becoming more, started coming out of devices. And that's when I felt that next wave of innovation happened around the data analytics side,
Yeah.
big data,
Yeah.
the thing which we
Yeah.
hear, Hadoop,
Yeah. Yeah.
which nobody is talking, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Hadoop and big data used to be a very big
Yeah.
buzzword,
Mhm.
I would say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think that was the initiation for where we are today.
Yeah.
We are looking to unlock the value of data because we laid the foundation of
Yeah.
data
Yeah.
probably around 2000, 2005.
Yeah.
So I think I've seen it, and today is the most interesting time because AI can unlock the value of data, as we just
Yeah.
spoke about.
Yeah. 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 So as you mentioned, so during your answer, you talk about like .com era technology like .NET, Java, or all those related technology. Then you talk about mobile,
Yeah.
and then data analytics, and that's how we generated a lot of data
Yeah.
for AI now.
Yeah.
But these were the dominant technology at that point of time, and as we know that from .com to mobile, that was like paradigm shift
Yeah.
that led to the large data generation, I would say.
Yeah.
And then that is why we were able to build the foundations of data analytics, BI, what we are seeing nowadays. But I would like to understand around all those technologies, since we are talking about right now a lot of automations. So how companies were doing the business automations, or I would say before even when data analytics was not there, how companies were making the data-driven decisions at that point of time.
Yeah, it's so automation was pretty much, I would say, as simple as if else. I mean, lot of coding with if else logic embedded as
Yeah.
part of our programming. That's how we did most part of our programming. However, when you spoke about the decision making, mostly, Rahul, I would say it was more descriptive and looking back in past.
Past. Yeah.
It was like collecting the data and finding what has happened in past and just trying to learn from it, like we do as a human. We look at in past and say, okay, I made this mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Similarly, pre, I would say, AI ML era, we as a human did not have the ability to look in future and predict the future.
Yeah, that's true.
So the only thing we could do is look in the mirror, rear mirror, and in hindsight and say, okay, this went wrong.
Yeah.
This was going wrong. However, I like to add, when we talk about AI, it's not just AI. The availability of the data and the data being ready for analytics was also a problem.
Yeah.
Because we build a lot of client server architecture applications and in silos. So data kind of maintained in different zone in its own. And the ability to put together the data and putting analytics on top was also, I would say, a big issue. People were still not going to cloud. They were in their own, on-prem servers.
infrastructure, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So absolutely, in the first place, getting the reporting done itself was a very, very basic need. If you are able to write, let's say, a Crystal report or
Yeah.
a SSRS report, you would
Remember.
call very, very cool guy.
Cool
right?
guy, yeah. I know. I have done those kind of things similarly. So yeah, you were considered like a hero
Yes.
if you know all those kind of technologies within your peer groups.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as you mentioned that building a data infrastructure was key challenge, right? And that's how actually we evolved technologies, what we are seeing right now, like big data or Snowflake, or nowadays like Microsoft Fabric is there, which is actually putting the impression and uh, leaving the footprint and gazing the new kind of skill set. But I would like to talk about more, because we were not able to generate the data and we were having the limited computing capacity as well.
Absolutely.
So that is why we were not able to
Yeah.
build so fast.
Absolutely.
Fast forward, we evolve as a if I talk about the generation of the data, like social media generated a lot of data, consumption economy actually led to generate a lot of data. So the role of the cutting edge technology was very much necessary.
Yeah.
Now I would like to talk about in the era of in between like 2008 to till I would say 2022 or 3, because last 2 years we have
Yes.
seen the AI evolution.
Yeah.
So I would like to talk about from 2008 to 2023, what were the dominant technologies or cutting edge technologies which actually made this entire ecosystem supportive?
एब्सोल्युटली. तो राहुल, मुझे लगता है कि जैसे आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि टेक्नोलॉजी बिकेम, एक्चुअली लेट मी पुट इट दैट वे, टेक्नोलॉजी कंज्यूमर के हाथ में आ गई. जैसे अपने फ़ोन की बात करी या ई कॉमर्स बढ़ गया.
Yeah.
ये जो टेक्नोलॉजी की हम बात करते 2000 पहले तक, तो ये बहुत लिमिटेड था. कोई गूगल चला लेगा या कोई कुछ कभी अमेज़ॉन पे चले जाएगा. अमेज़ॉन वाज नॉट एज पॉपुलर एज.
As popular.
तो कंज्यूमर टेक्नोलॉजी के आने के साथ जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो एक स्मार्ट वॉच हो सकती है या एक फ़ोन हो सकता है, डेटा आया सारे फॉर्म्स एंड शेप में, और डेटा आया बहुत वेलोसिटी के साथ. और डेफिनेशन बिग डेटा की यही दी जाती है कि व्हेन डेटा इज़ इन बिग वॉल्यूम एंड विद कमिंग विद बिग वेलोसिटी, दैट्स अ बिग डेटा. तो ये जो टाइम था, मुझे लगता है, तो बिग डेटा के ऊपर जो इकोसिस्टम था हडूप का, वो पहले से था. बट in 2008-9 the need of the तो अगर बिग डेटा को थोड़ी देर के लिए भूल जाएं, तो हमारा यूजुअली जो डेटा स्टोर होता है रिलेशनल डेटाबेस फॉर्मेट में होता है. एंड रिलेशनल इज़ अ ग्रेट फॉर्मेट बिकॉज इट गारंटीज यू दैट यू कैन रिकवर द डेटा, रिसीव you know get your data, every piece of your data anytime. And it's stored in a very organized fashion. With big data came the problem that you don't have the time to store it in an organized fashion. Then I think the big data and the Hadoop came in picture, and that's, I would say, is the real shift and the real transformation or push toward where we are today. I think big data laid a foundation for massive parallel processing. Concept जो अभी हम शायद कभी-कभी बात नहीं करते हैं, पर मुझे लगता है ज़रूरी है. Massive parallel processing allows you to kind of distribute your data across multiple domains. And आपको जब ज़रूरत हो आप उसको स्कैन कर लो ऑन डिमांड पे, बजाय उसको एक जगह ऑर्गेनाइज रखने के. उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके यू आर गिविंग मोर प्रोसेसिंग टू लोकेट योर डेटा ऑन डिमांड
एंड एक्सेस वेरी फास्टली.
एग्जैक्टली. सो दैट टेक्स अवे दैट प्रेशर कि यार वो डेटा है उसको मैं रिलेशनल डेटाबेस में ही रखूँ. नहीं, यू कैन store it as simple as a file, and the guarantee is that you will be able to recover it quickly because it's a MPP, massive parallel processing. मुझे लगता है MPP was the major breakthrough, and I think it's still a backbone for the modern AI and analytics as of today.
So if we talk about all these technologies, right? So पहले भी लोग सीखते होंगे, अभी भी लोग सीख रहे हैं. In recent past, like we have like flood of online courses, YouTube contents available, and I would say the lot of hands-on live videos also are there. But उस टाइम पर लोग कैसे सीखते थे, कैसे एक, because as you mentioned that कि हमने उस समय कोई एक टेक्नोलॉजी सीखी and 5-7 साल के लिए we were like stable in terms of that particular job. So upskilling and reskilling was not required at that point of time with the pace right now which it is required now. So my question is कि हम उस time पर in the unavailability of online courses or limited availability of online content, how people used to basically upskill themselves?
I had my own struggle when I completed my post-graduation. Post 9/11, job market was not very good. The only choice I had left is that I really acquire a lot of skills, good amount of skills, so that I have better chances basically. And I remember that time very very clearly. तो only choice मुझे लगता है उस समय थी कि बुक खरीद के लाओ. खजूरी बाज़ार इंदौर में जो लोग हैं, आप खजूरी बाज़ार जाएंगे, आप बुक खरीद के लाएंगे 3-4-5 और उसको बैठ के आप स्टडी करेंगे. उस समय की डिमांड और आज की डिमांड में फ़र्क है. उस समय आप so if you join a company, they will ask theoretical question and you will answer theoretical question and you will give the answer accordingly. आपको टाइम मिलता था, ऐसा बोलते हैं ना जो हनीमून पीरियड जो बोलते हैं जॉब में. तो you had I would say a good amount of time where you could just sit and kind of use that theoretical knowledge and try convert that theoretical knowledge into a practical knowledge. मुझे लगता है साल 1.5 साल तक मिल जाता था. So I would, coming back, the learning was through the books. You will acquire the theoretical knowledge, you'll apply a little bit of that knowledge, get some code running, and then you'll join the company based on your theoretical knowledge. Mostly. Few people will also go and do the certification. That I think good.
Yeah. So certification was much popular at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Certification, अगर आपके पास है तो you can show it off.
Considered like elite class among the professionals.
Absolutely. मुझे याद है वो शायद उसको MVP बोलते थे उस समय.
Yes, MVP.
आजकल MVP
most
Microsoft is very different.
professional.
Yeah. Nowadays MVP is different from Microsoft standpoint.
Yeah.
But the definition of MVP was 3-4 certificate कर लिए, then you become MVP.
MVP. Yeah. That's true. So अभी जैसे हम AI के टाइम में जो अभी टाइम चल रहा है उसमें what we are talking about कि either job will be like there would be fewer jobs or most likely will not have the jobs, right? But so that lead to that कि या तो जॉब अभी स्टेबल नहीं होंगे या फिर जॉब काफ़ी वनरेबल होंगे इन द सेंस कि जिनके पास स्किल्स नहीं है या जो अप स्किल नहीं कर रहे हैं उनके लिए काफ़ी डिफ़िकल्ट होगा टू सस्टेन इन दिस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री. नाउ इफ़ आई टॉक अबाउट दैट पर्टिकुलर एरा, how was like job perspective in terms of the stability and vulnerability in terms of getting or acquiring the new skills and changing the role itself? Like if I'm doing in web programming, I want to switch into the database. So how it was easy? So that's what basically we would like to understand कि job उस समय कितने stable थे और कितना easy था switch करना.
Yeah. So Rahul, I think I would say the shelf life जो होती है टेक्नोलॉजी स्किल की थी वो बहुत थी. तो अगर मैंने लेट्स से एजेक्स सीखा, वो अगेन 2002-03 एजेक्स वाज very cool new thing.
Yeah.
And all of overnight you could call the server without forcing the browser to refresh would seem like a miracle, and I've seen it firsthand. So basis of my learning of Ajax, I could really do well for many years in the job because I would apply the same skill, things would not change, it will remain pretty much same. It was not like a new JavaScript framework every other day.
Every other day.
Like it's happening today.
Today, yeah, that's true.
So it was pretty open source, and from the HTML, organization itself. So everything, so shelf life was very long. So job would be stable unless there is a situation with the economy and the market conditions are bad, economy is not doing good, then only you would face challenge. Otherwise, your whatever you learned will stay with you and will take you up in the
up in the ladder.
Ladder.
Within the organization.
As you gain more experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Second part of the question. Sorry, I forgot.
So I was talking about like if we wanted to shift from one tech stack to another, how it was easy, because nowadays अभी क्या हो रहा है कि if you know something, then it is compulsion to shift or learn a extra skill. But at that point of time, single skill actually gave you the immunity to go long.
That is a good word. Immunity is a good word. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, that's how it was. I mean, you were subject matter expert of one thing, and only one thing. But nowadays we talk about full stack.
Full stack,
you have to deliver solution, and I think I like it. That way you become journalist. You have general idea of everything, but you choose to kind of go deep when you really need to apply that skill. You are not accumulating all the skill, going deep, and then you're not using that skill. It's on demand. जरूरत है, सीखो और apply करो.
Yeah, that's true. So we talked about like pre-AI era, and in that particular era, we talked about technology, project management, we talked about the business and all of that, right? Now, before moving to the part of the AI era, Uh, I would like to talk about what are the different technologies. As far as I know, like in the artificial intelligence space, there are like five main components like artificial intelligence, machine learning, then natural language processing, then nowadays like automation or AI agents we call it, and then most popular and hero of the time is generative
Generative
AI,
AI,
right?
absolutely.
So
Everybody's
these are,
talking about
yeah,
it.
these everybody is talking about all these things, and
Yeah.
out of that, like generative AI is the winner,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we talked about the in our session so far, like data is like the hues which we have generated through different means, like.
Yeah.
So what is the role of the data in the generative AI and why it is considered as a backbone?
Yeah. I think data is as I think only the only way I can put it is data is a fuel
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
which powers up whatever we have talked about so far. Uh, data so generative AI is only possible because on top of it we have some kind of machine learning
yeah,
sitting, or we have AI, which is the broadest term
yeah.
among all the things
Among
we are
all of
talking
us, yeah,
about.
yeah.
uh, and AI or machine learning is only possible when it is given the data.
Data.
Machine learning solves the problem जो human solve कर सकते थे, कर सकते हैं, या maybe machine can kind of do it in much more efficient way in a limited time and resources. The only thing it needs is data.
Data. Yeah,
So absolutely the need of the data is much more
yeah,
than ever in this time and era. And lot of organization and customer that we have been working, you know the question that everybody we ask and they ask sometime to us is your data stake AI ready or not?
yeah.
Even if they are not implementing AI, question is the data AI ready or not? तो अगर data AI ready नहीं है तो then probably yeah, it's a big problem.
Okay.
So to answer your question, absolutely essential. Without it, I mean, it cannot.
Yeah.
It cannot.
Generate any meaningful results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. So you have used one term, AI data ready from your customer. Customers are asking that whether your data is AI ready or not. So what do you mean by AI data ready?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, Rahul, because it can mean different thing to different people. However, when I am working with my customer, it has three. It has three things that we try to make sure. The first is your data in one place. ये सेल्स का डेटा हो सकता है, मार्केटिंग का हो सकता है, HR का डेटा हो सकता है. इज़ योर डेटा इन वन प्लेस और नॉट? बिकॉज अगर ये वन प्लेस पे नहीं है तो गवर्नेंस नहीं आएगी. एंड नाउ डेज डेटा गवर्नेंस इज़ अ बिग थिंग. Data governance mean it's a topic in itself.
Yeah. Big
However,
topic.
exactly. But data governance is one umbrella which makes sure that data is in the right shape and form, and there is no loss to it. DLP is what it is called, and there are many other aspects of the data governance. So data governance की first requirement ये है कि data should be in one place. The second thing is your data being attributed to who can access what? बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है आज AI and ML की कि how would we enforce the data privacy and security?
Yeah, that's true.
Application, let's say I create a data agent, and this data agent is now available to everybody, and that data agent is all about HR data. The challenge is we have opened one more outlet to access the data, and I cannot control the data, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
So
सबकी salaries खुल करके सामने
exactly. And so the second attribute is uh, defining the policy and rules that who can access what. That is the part of the data governance, and that's the second important attribute. And third is you have to have your data in the form and shape which can be quickly accessed, and it's not just parked, but it is ready to be retrieved. if these three components are there, I feel the organization is ready to harness the power of the data through AI.
As we talk about like these three key factors, but as far as I know, like generative AI tools like ChatGPT ho या Gemini ho, they works on the purely on the prompt, right?
Yeah.
And prompt का आंसर आपके डेटा क्वालिटी के ऊपर सबसे ज़्यादा डिपेंड करेगा.
Correct.
So that the more qualitative data we have, right, and the more, or I would say that better results we will get out of it. So how important the data quality, because for example अभी क्या हो रहा है कि सोशल मीडिया से भी अब फॉर एग्जांपल इफ़ आई टेक एन एग्जांपल कि मुझे एनालिटिक्स करनी है ऑन साइट डोमेन, लेट्स से कि एम्प्लॉय परफॉर्मेंस पर हमें एनालिटिक्स बिल्ड करना है, और वी ऐड मल्टीपल डायमेंशंस कि इस पर्टिकुलर ऑल द एम्प्लॉयज़ जिनका हम एनालिटिक्स प्लेटफॉर्म बिल्ड करना चाहते हैं, उनके सोशल प्रोफाइल का भी डेटा हम गैदर करते हैं. वहाँ से भी हमें, इट इज़ नॉट नेसेसरी कि क्वालिटेटिव डेटा मिले ऑलवेज, फिर हम उनके डिफरेंट पैरामीटर्स विद इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, उनके हेल्थ से रिलेटेड डेटा, वी गैदर ऑल दैट पर्टिकुलर डेटा. अगर हम इस टाइप का एक इनोवेटिव सॉल्यूशन बनाते हैं जहाँ पॉसिबिलिटी है कि गार्बेज डेटा भी इकट्ठा होगा,
Correct.
और पॉसिबिलिटी है कुछ मीनिंगफुल डेटा भी इकट्ठा होगा. नाउ इन दैट पर्टिकुलर सेंस, if we do not actually provide the quality data,
Yeah.
so these applications or analytics platform cannot work effectively.
Absolutely.
So अभी जैसे आपने बोला कि टेस्ट ड्रिवन डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है जहाँ एक डेवलपर टेस्टिंग कर लेता था, खुद करेगा. पहले हमें एक डेडिकेटेड टेस्टर की रिक्वायरमेंट होती थी. नाउ इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ क्वालिटी डेटा, हाउ it is important to have the quality data, that is the first thing. And second part of the question is, what kind of new roles to provide that quality data would be there?
Sure. So to answer your first question, data is new currency.
Yeah. Instead of oil, now it is currency.
It's a currency. Yeah, I think you are absolutely right. जो shift हुआ है, अब उसको oil की जगह currency बोलने लग
currency
गए.
बोलता है.
और करेंसी अगर काउंटरफीट है, नकली है, खराब है, तो वी आर इन ट्रबल. सो आई थिंक टू पुट इट सिंपली, डेटा हैज़ टू बी in right shape and form, and it should be able to it should be in a way, organized in a way which can be harnessed. You cannot put it in silo. So I will keep repeating the term silo and shape and form. The reason is it's थोड़ा बहुत जल्दी से हम मिसअंडरस्टूड कर सकते हैं. हाँ, डेटा तो है, तो काम तो हो जाना चाहिए, बट डेटा किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में रखा है, उसके आसपास का सराउंडिंग क्या है, इज दिस डेटा इन द राइट फॉर्म एंड शेप, एंड is it able to, can we using the data, can it lead to another data point?
Yes.
If it is not, then I think that's where so when we talk about the quality, all these aspects are covered. And going to the next question,
data जो पहले हमें जो टेस्टर रिक्वायर्ड होते थे, now how that role is actually transformed from web application tester to like data quality professionals.
ये एक मुझे लगता है कि it's a new role, and we have significant gap of skill, where people have the analytic and mindset of a quality assurance, and they can look at the data as a currency. Let me put it that way. The reason is, website जब आप टेस्ट करते हैं तो you see a functioning of it, whether the login button is being clicked or not. And that's how our human mind is trained. Something is working or not working. Data is not like that. Data is there, but is this data making sense or not?
Yes.
That is a question. Our human mind, usually, or normal people will think, okay, let's say एक एम्प्लॉई टेबल है, उसमें एज लिखी हुई है, एंड आई थिंक डेट ऑफ बर्थ लिखा हुआ है, एंड समहाउ वी पर्सन से, डेट ऑफ बर्थ तो लिखा हुआ है, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? बट क्वेश्चन इज, अगर उनका डेट ऑफ बर्थ लेट्स से गोज इनटू 1921, लेट्स से आई सी अ पैटर्न कि 1947, किसी का 1930, I will immediately say, how come this employee table have this date of birth which is incorrect?
Yeah.
Having data doesn't mean it's correct.
Yes, yes.
So I think that's where the role of the QA for the data comes into picture.
Yeah.
They look at the data for a lot of validation,
Validation,
and
yeah.
it's pretty important, I
Yeah.
would say. Data जब leak होता पता नहीं चलता है.
Yeah.
Problem ये it can leak and we would not even know. So and data की जो journey होती है starts from the source जिसको हम बोलते हैं OTP system.
OTP, yeah.
The transactional system वहाँ से start होके it can kind of take multiple steps before it is ready for analytics or AI. इस बीच में हो सकता है वो it can kind of get lost or drop. So it's also responsibility of a
So in the context of AI, since we are talking about like these roles would be there, do you see any threats for all these roles, or if they would be there,
Not at
how
all.
long they would be there?
Not at all. I think I would say doomsday scenario AI आ जाएगा जॉब ले जाएगा और ये मुझे लगता है कि this is only I think it has happened with every new technology.
Yes, that's true.
जो भी नया innovation होता है human mind, we as a human always carefully evaluate things and sometimes have a kind of tendency to overreact to it. Job of every role will remain, however, and this is a big if, that every role has to now take advantage of the AI, otherwise somebody else will take the job.
Yeah.
I'm not saying AI will take the job. Somebody else who knows
Who
AI,
knows the AI?
they can use the AI for the advantage, will
Yes.
take away their job.
Yeah.
So it's not AI who will going to consume the job, but somebody with that skill
Skill will take your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the great example is I have been working on Microsoft Fabric. It's an integrated data platform, launched by Microsoft 2 years ago. It's incredible platform. It is integrated because it does everything. It kind of has data engineering. It has the data warehousing, reporting, and then finally AI/ML as well, combined into one platform as a service.
Yeah.
Incredible. Copilot, I think we have heard about it.
Yes.
Microsoft Copilot is very popular. But the thing is, in Fabric, and I think in every product of Microsoft now Copilot is available, but I'm specifically talking about Copilot from the point of view of a developer.
Yeah.
I give a task to a developer, give me SQL, I need a SQL, and this is the use case. Give me top 10, let's say, employee who have taken leave, this, and with more complex condition. One way is standard way. We start writing our SQL. Second, and which is already there, is I only give a prompt to Copilot, which is already part of Fabric, and ask the same question plain English. Give me this, and it generate the query. And this is really the
game changer.
Yeah. And I am seeing people in my organization who have been using AI are more and result oriented, fast, and accurate also, who is using AI. So we are actually in process of setting one prompt engineer role in our own organization, who will kind of help people use AI for their advantage.
Yes. Okay, so that means if I summarize it in a simplest way, the person who knows how to implement the AI as a like productive tool, rather just doing the coding instead of, because obviously there will always be the business context and custom requirements from the customer, right? But somebody who has that particular edge where they can actually use the AI to make themselves more productive will be like employable, rather than who are actually not having that particular side of the requirement.
Absolutely,
right?
That is absolutely sure.
So now coming to the point, since like millennials are like going to be retired in next 5 to 10 years, right? And the people who are like into the program management, or aged people like who are like on the vice president on a certain designation in certain organization, they are going to be retired. Millennials will take over on those roles most likely if AI automation will not take those jobs, and then the Gen Zs will be the in the new role, right? So I would like to ask one thing before talking about the skill set of the AI. Do you think that Gen Zs are like really employable nowadays?
Um, so, on one hand, I think because this is a consumer technology,
Yeah.
AIML, like Alexa or Siri, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, consumer technology means we know that what generative AI can do. My daughter, who is 10 years old, is the, I would say, biggest consumer of Gen AI. She would do all of her homework and everything using Alexa and Siri and whatnot. So at one point, I think uh, this new generation is consuming what Gen AI is producing. However, my concern is that, I mean, using the AI to produce the content.
Yeah.
So we are consumer. I mean, new generation is consumer. That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
But वो
That's great for the businesses.
business
Yeah, yeah.
जिन्होंने बनाया है,
बनाया है.
पर आई थिंक रियल क्वेश्चन इज हम केवल कंज्यूमर नहीं बने रह सकते.
Exactly.
वी हैव टू बी आल्सो बी पार्ट ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन एंड
Yes,
प्रोड्यूसिंग द कंटेंट.
producing the- yeah.
Like you are producing this
Yeah,
content,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're not just consuming content, you're
Yes,
creating
creating
contents. So that's where I feel the real gap is. That's where मुझे लगता है कि चैट जीपीटी से थोड़ा ऊपर उठने की ज़रूरत है.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody is using chat GPT, but I think probably it ends there. मुझे
Yeah.
लगता है there a lot more need to be done.
Because I think like because of this Gen AI tools, they are actually killing the creativity, critical thinking,
Yeah.
and people are like now earlier like when we used to solve the problem, we were using the Stack Overflow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
very true.
nowadays I don't know like new generational developer even knows that what is the Stack Overflow.
Yeah.
They just
correct.
go to type the prompt and get
Yeah.
the solution,
Absolutely.
and that is where like curiosity and critical thinking is losing.
Yeah.
At the same time, I see like there are like many smart Gen Z's people who knows what they need to do and how they need to do. So they acquire the knowledge and then they are actually building their game, right?
Yeah.
So if I talk about what kind of new skill sets would required to be employable for this new generation workforce?
I think first thing is your agility and your ability to learn new technology. So learn, unlearn and relearn. अगर ये skill है तो I think this is the mindset.
Yeah, this is more
Everybody-
mindset game rather
Yeah.
the occupational skill.
Yeah, I think this is the mindset now everybody need to adopt, including the new generation and people who are in the industry. The second is, rather than, so AI will get the repetitive job done, will also get the job done where data patterns have to be established, but human skills, as you rightly said, Rahul, critical thinking,
Yeah.
innovation, bringing more like a human aspect.
Yeah.
I can build a dashboard using Copilot or generative AI today, using the data within 10 minutes. But question is, me as a BI architect, I need to ask is whether that KPI is making sense to the
To the
business
customers
or not. Is
the
it serving a certain, answering to a certain problem or not, or is it just another normal KPI giving a very simple answer? So that is the critical thinking behavior जो मुझे लगता है और ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. So first, ability to use AI for your own advantage. और जो टाइम बच जाए उसमें क्या करना है, उसमें हमें क्रिएटिविटी लगानी है,
Exactly.
क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग करनी है, हमें देखना है कि आर वी सर्विंग. तो वैल्यू चेन में ऊपर जाने का जो स्कोप है वो यही है. अर्लियर वी वर जस्ट डिलीवरिंग दिस सॉल्यूशन एंड एक्सपेक्टेशन चल रहा है, मतलब बढ़िया है, ठीक है,
चलती हुई चीज को नहीं छेड़ना.
हाँ नहीं छेड़ना है, बस दे दिया. now I think the real value is how can we make a difference, deliver the true value to the customer, and deliver something which उसको भी customer को नहीं पता यार ये अच्छा ऐसा है मुझे पता नहीं था. So we go a little bit above and beyond that AI can help you do if you use it as your personal help.
Yeah. So it's a kind of personal assistant rather than your replacement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as we know that like for AI there are like learning of the AI, there are like nowadays lots of courses are there available online, and organization are also conducting the offline session within the organization, right? But that is not going to the only thing which will fill that particular skill gap. So how do you think that in our education system, specifically in engineering colleges or I would say that in schooling education, how AI is learning the AI is becoming critical, and we should uh, put up the AI curriculum in the schools, beginning from schools, or only we should put it into the graduation level only?
Yeah, I think so मुझे लगता है कि our education is still very very theoretical. Taking an example, data structure is a great subject. I mean, I like it a lot. I mean, it helps you think it that way. I think probably it's one of the subject, but I would expect a little bit more. How do you apply data structure into real world problems? I think there are a few examples, but when it comes to machine learning, we have a lot of algorithms and we can talk about a lot of things. But when we do that, I think we sometime going into too much theory and missing out on from the application side. I would say rather we should make this little bit more friendly and easy to use for somebody who is learning the technology, and then start getting them deeper into the mechanics of the AI side. So that's where I feel there is a gap. The second gap is hands-on projects. I feel today's time organization look for people not who have all these degrees, but people who have the skills. And skills come with only hands-on learning and doing project-based training where they getting something done. So component ज़्यादा होना चाहिए हमारे एजुकेशन में.
Okay, that's good. अभी क्या हो रहा है, जैसे फ्रेशर्स अभी जो भी वर्कफोर्स आएगी, न्यू वर्कफोर्स, obviously they have to struggle a lot if they do not learn the new age skills. But what about the workforce who is already working in industry, and what kind of skills they should acquire to keep up their pace or relevancy in the AI era?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is the mindset shift that instead of looking AI as something which will take away the job, you have to see it as a friend. Spirituality में एक चीज़ है कि जब आप ध्यान करने बैठते हैं तो आपका मन नहीं लगता. तो जो सयाने लोग हैं वो कहते हैं कि मन को दोस्त बना के, मित्र बना के you have to meditate. उसको बजाय कि तो मुझे लगता है कि with AI is probably similar. Instead of thinking it as something which will take away my job or which is still experimental, अरे ये तो नहीं है. I think idea is use AI into day-to-day life. I mean, we are doing it. But as a programmer, usually I think we have to go a little bit deeper. Programmers are engineers are people who like to solve problems. And sometime I think the tendency is, okay, instead of giving a prompt using Copilot, I don't believe it will generate a good dashboard. Let me design it myself. I know what to do. I think that mind shift has to be, I think, need to be there. I think that's one important aspect.
Okay. So there are like, if I talk about, so we talked about like programmers, like engineers who are involved into programming or solutioning, right? There are like many other roles uh, where there is a huge fear mongering. I don't know why people are creating the first of all fear mongering about the AI, but they are saying that non-functional or non-technical roles like HR, like marketing, like sales will actually be diminished 90%, or those roles will not exist anymore. But I don't think so in the similar fashion, because it is more fear mongering just to sell the product, AI products, or sell the AI courses. But I don't think so it is a reality, and we can talk about definitely in details. But how do you see such non technical or functional role which are going to be affected by the AI?
Um, yes, Rahul, I do agree that there is going to be an effect.
Yeah.
And for an example, Clear AI or any other platform where nowadays it's very common that you can write a workflow, let's say in Clear AI, give a LinkedIn URL of a candidate. Let's say I'm a HR person and I don't have time to profile through and compile all the data. A lot of platform like Clear AI will do that for you.
Yeah.
So if I'm a HR person with this skill, I can take it for my advantage and I can really get down and say, okay, this candidate has all the description and attributes what I am looking from this job description, and I'll be able to close that job position very, very quickly. Versus somebody who goes literally scroll through the page on LinkedIn and kind of make a decision. Uh, Therefore, I do believe, yes, AI will make a difference to non-tech job as well, as long as people use it for the advantage. Somebody who is not doing it, I will be in trouble, because another person, another same role will get the job done with much more proficiency.
Okay. So, Saman, let's talk about from the business perspective. So far, we talked about employability, future of the jobs, and all. But since we are talking about ki by 2030, AI will take it over, all right? But so far, I don't know or how much footprint we have, or documents, proof available that we productionize the applications which are completely driven by AI, right? So what are the key challenges right now industry, or I would say businesses, are facing in the context where they are trying to adopt the AI but not able to get it successfully?
Yeah, it's a very good question, because uh, every organization want to be there, but still not there. And main reason. The first is uh, security concern. Whenever we talk about AI ML, and let's say talk about somebody generate a very nice prompt on ChatGPT, but the problem is, why would I give my data to ChatGPT? That
ChatGPT.
initial concern is still there. I don't know the answer. I'm not at this spot where I can kind of address this concern. But I do think that it's like it's like a on cloud, when initially people were, oh, why would we put our server on cloud? Why will we copy our data on cloud, right? I think so. Probably this concern will diminish in due time, but it's real. I mean, I don't say that this is not a real concern. Data security is a real concern. The second is still lot of organizations and their data stake is not cloud native. When it is not cloud native, movement of data is very, very I would say static and not easy, and that is one of the requirement for AI implementation. Data is in premise and under a lot of through some network protection, security, and getting that data in one place, making it ready is the pre-step even before we can think of AI.
Mhm.
So these two primary reasons making the implementation go very, very slow.
So when if we say okay, industries will adopt these particular technologies, skill set and all, but if I talk about the in the longer run, the sustainability is the big thing for the AI in the context of it takes a lot of water to sustain the infrastructure or operate the infrastructure, and then it takes a lot of electricity to produce one result out of the prompt. So how do you see the I would say generate the bottom lines for the company who are building the AI, who are consuming the AI, and also who are actually going to be the end customer for that AI. So how companies will with these challenges generate the positive bottom line for the companies?
I mean, I don't think it's a choice anymore, Rahul. I mean, organizations and the companies who are leading from the front uh, have been the leaders, I would say, as well.
Mhm.
Example is Amazon and Netflix. So think about Amazon and Netflix. They started recommendation before AI era.
Mhm.
And it was, I don't know what logic they used. They used
Mhm.
some pattern or something, but they still used to they recommend product when I'm talking about 2003, 5, 4, and Netflix would do the same, and they are the leaders today. And usually people say, okay, make sure that you looking at Amazon what they are doing because they are the trendsetters. I feel investing in AI and um, doing it is not a choice. They may decide the pace that they will be slow, but everybody has to be there. We often see nowadays the data agents or automated phone calls when people are vanishing, and more and more automated system are taking place. So if organization and corporations have to maintain their age, they will have to invest and use AI.
Okay. Let's suppose if someone had to start from scratch now to learn the AI, irrespective of from which generation they are coming, what role they are in right now, uh, what should be the guided approach you would recommend to those who are going to starting from scratch itself?
Yeah, I think first of all, start using technology itself is the first great step. If somebody is not using ChatGPT, just not beyond some basic stuff. I mean, and there is a lot more.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube, take some course, and use the ChatGPT for its fullest. Second is I would recommend some courses. Uh, I think there is one course, AI for Everyone from Andrew NG. It's available, and that's a great course. It talks about theoretical and application aspect of the AI. That's another thing. Third is I think um being I would say uh, data, or you have to have the orientation toward the data. Ultimately, that's the currency and the soil, as we've been talking about. So being data aware, how this data can be curated, that's another skill I feel is important
Okay.
at this age.
Okay. So one last question before closing this podcast. Let's suppose AI is going to take over by 2030 or 2035, and I'm still, I mean, having doubt from my side. Maybe those doubts will over the period of time, but after that, what human will do next?
That's a very loaded question. So first thing, I think there will be two sides from human standpoint. The humans who will still be on the side of AI governing it,
Mm-hmm.
and the set of people who will be subject to it.
Okay.
So the question is, if this is a hypothetical question, which side we want to be on?
Okay.
Working alongside of AI,
AI.
um, or being a subject to AI. So this is one thought I have. The second is, if really AI takes it over and everything it's doing, I would say human will go toward the side of being artistic, creating more music, going spiritual. Uh, yeah, I think that side will be unleashed, I would say.
Okay.
Because if everything is AI doing and nothing else is left, some of these areas, artistic side, drawing, painting, and performing art, music, still I feel music is something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it comes through the human emotion.
Yeah.
So I feel that will kind of see the rise. And then finally, I think there will be then uh, uh, sites created. AI, another one side of AI will fight with another side of AI to kind of take the dominance. I think there will be some. It should be some war within the domain of AI itself.
Okay.
But yeah, again, as you said, it's very difficult to think it would ever happen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Saman, for your time, and I hope this podcast will
No,
actually help.
I really appreciate that, Rahul. I think it was all very, very.
Yeah.
So we do talk in general about AI, but
Uh-huh.
I want to again acknowledge that all the questions were
Yeah.
very, very interesting,
Okay.
and I never had the opportunity in recent time to go in length and talk about
Yeah.
all the aspect in one sitting. So I really enjoyed my conversation
Thank
with
you.
you.
Thank you, Saman, for your time. And I hope this particular podcast will help our viewers
Yeah.
and consider AI as a possibility and the opportunity rather than considering as a threat. So I would recommend that everybody should learn the AI in one way or another, irrespective of what industry they are working. So we will be seeing like exciting time ahead with the AI itself.
Absolutely, it's exciting time.
Yeah.
What AI will do, how it will evolve. I mean, it's all going to be very exciting. We are living in exciting time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saman.